Hey, what's up, guys? What is up? What's up, Z-Man? How you doing, bro? What is up? I've seen quite a few people in the chat saying it was very hot today. Yeah, I literally did not leave my house today because it was so hot outside. It was very hot outside today. C137, what do you mean? Where is this being streamed at? You're literally watching it here, so. I did a live stream last night, guys, but clearly some of you guys were not in last night's live stream. Did my first live stream in like 4 months. How you guys doing? What's up? We're going to do some scary reactions tonight. There's lots of Mr. Nightmare, Nuke's top 5s, Bizarre Bub, Slapped Ham, Chilling Scares. There's lots of different channels, guys, that there's quite a few videos that I have not watched in the past couple months, so I've just been busy with other stuff. Haven't really been keeping up on some of the scary channels, you know. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing, Isaiah? Yo, Jay, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Jay. You know what, Cosmic? Yeah, I kind of forgot about Bizarre Bub. But they have a lot of good videos, like scary videos and stuff, so definitely gonna have to check out a Bizarre Bub video tonight. Okay, Reaper, I'll become a channel member when I get paid again. All right, sweet. Dang, Matt, you changed your username. Your username is really long. Forza Horizon Goobers Matt Shatterly. That's quite a long name, man. I don't think I'm going to remember that full username. Sorry. Yeah, anyone just joining the live, I'm going to be reacting to some... Most of you guys know who Mr. Nightmare is, right? Mr. Nightmare is more like scary stories. You just kind of listen to the stories. That's normally like top 3 scary home invasion stories and stuff like that. You guys know Mr. Nightmare. Nuke's top 5 is more... He like talks about scary like paranormal videos, and then like Bizarre Bub, Slapped Ham, Chilling Scares, all those channels are more videos. I mean there's other channels that do like scary stories and stuff, but I would say my favorite person to listen, like read scary stories and different scary stuff, is probably Mr. Nightmare's definitely in my top 5. Just asked my crush out. She said yes. What should I do? Take her out, Hunter. If you asked your crush out and she said yes, then what do you mean? What should you do? Take her out. What's up, Molly? How are you, Molly? I'll do a poll really quick, guys. Hold on. Let me see here. Start a poll. Right, guys, I'm going to put a poll in the chat. What should I react to first tonight, guys? What should the first reaction be between Mr. Nightmare or Nuke's top 5? Go ahead and vote in vote on the poll, guys. There's like one little fruit fly. Somehow there's one little fruit fly in my office here, and it won't die. What's up, MF? Well, it looks like right now looks like Mr. Nightmare is winning. So sorry if I'm not talking a lot in the stream. My arm is still... What happened to your arm, Ethan? What's up, Brandy? Learning a new language like Japanese, it's not going to be easy, but wish me luck. Well, good luck, Matt. It's never easy learning a new language, that's for sure. I'll give it till 11:25 my time. It's 11:24. I'll give it till 11:25 and then we'll end the poll. But it looks like Mr. Nightmare is currently winning at 59% on the poll. We have Mr. Nightmare at 58%, Nuke's top 5 at 42%. So I'll probably watch a Nuke's top 5 video tonight, but we're just doing a vote right now on which channel we react to first. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Not right now, Tatted, no. Oh, it's 11:25. It just turned 11:25. Sorry, I was not paying attention. Wow. Well, I'm going to end the poll, but... Oh my gosh. I wasn't paying attention right when it turned to 11:25. We're now at 49% Mr. Nightmare, 51% Nuke's top 5. Guess we'll start with Nuke's top 5. I'm just going to end the poll. Mr. Nightmare was winning there for a while, but it looks like it's I'm going to end the poll right now. Looks like Nuke's top 5 won. 52% Nuke's top 5. Mr. Nightmare 47%. So little bit of a switch up there at the end of the voting. Little bit of a switch up there. Bash. Yeah. Does the stream look good, guys? The audio sound? I was messing around with my microphone a little bit, so hopefully the microphone, everything sounds good. The stream looks good. I'm currently streaming on YouTube and TikTok right now, so those are the two places I'm live at right now. All right, well, let me pull up Nuke's top 5, guys. Give me a second. Nuke's top 5. House. Well, it looks like there was one uploaded, looks like there was one uploaded 4 days ago. Scary videos you can't unsee. I'm trying, like I said, guys, I haven't watched Nuke's top 5 and some of these scary channels in probably a good 3 or 4 months. I'm pretty sure I watched this. It doesn't look like Nuke's top 5 uploads very often. Does he only upload like once a month? 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, and then there was a video 4 days ago. You guys want me to do this one right here? The newest one from 4 days ago? Scary videos you can't unsee. Should we do this one, guys? The newest Nuke's Top 5 video from 4 days ago. Did you watch the Minecraft movie? Yeah, I went and I saw it in the movie theater. I took my kids and I watched it in the movie theater. Let's do the newest one. Bows. Antonio, if I do any gaming stuff, I just upload it on this channel now. For like 2 or 3 years ago, I did have a separate channel, DKRACK Games, where I just uploaded gaming videos, but it's just easier for me to just upload my reactions, gaming videos, all my stuff just on my main channel here. It's kind of hard when you have like 3-4 different, you know, 3-4 different channels that you have to upload videos on. It just becomes a lot of work. Hash. All right, guys, this is going to be the first reaction tonight. It's been a while since I've watched or done a reaction to Nuke's Top 5. Like I said, it's probably been at least 3 months or so, but this says Scary Videos You Can't Unsee by Nuke's Top 5.
Late one evening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Heather Paul is outside on her front porch having some ice cream with her husband and her 2 sons. But then, Heather suddenly spots something that absolutely creeps her out.
There's like little mosquitoes.
Kind of going on me.
Yo, what the hell was that? There's like some creepy lady walking in the background.
What did you say, Mommy? I didn't hear you.
Oh, hell no.
Keep that open so it doesn't get all musty.
You can't tell me to find it.
That was very bizarre. Or it's just like some old lady.
Heather whispers, "She scares me," to her husband and children, but they have no idea what she's talking about. Neither her husband or sons can see the bizarre figure dressed in white that is walking down the sidewalk only about 20 feet away. Heather says that the woman looked like...
That's very strange. I mean, it's honestly just probably some lady with like mental issues or something walking around back there, but that's still creepy. Yo, Shells, thank you for the gift, Shells. Appreciate it.
Quote, a lady dressed like a nurse from the 1950s with an eerie
Oh, from the
grin on her face.
1950s. What?
Heather is now freaked out. She can't understand why no one else saw the strange nurse. So she checks the footage from their front door security camera, and sure enough, the recording also shows a creepy pale figure walking right by.
It just immediately creeped me out, so I
Oh,
just
heck
kind of
no.
like jumped.
But it gets even weirder, because you see, Heather lives only a mile away from a notorious old abandoned mental asylum, the Philadelphia State Hospital at Byberry.
So a little backstory. I live
Guys, where I live, literally not even 5 minutes from my house, there's a, well, it's currently a prison, but for like 20 years, I think from like the 1960s to sometime in the 1980s, it was actually like a mental asylum for, you know, I don't know how to nicely say it, like crazy people, pretty much. It was like a mental insane asylum for like 20 years. And now it's been a prison since sometime in the mid 1980s. But there's a big cemetery next to this prison where they would bury the people from the insane asylum. Like when someone would pass away and they didn't have any family members, they would just bury them in this mass cemetery. And they didn't even put their name on the headstone or the tombstone, it's literally a number like 524, number 121. Like a lot of these people didn't even have family members to claim them when they passed away. So it's literally like their tombstone is just a random number. It's kind of creepy.
I live about a mile from where Byberry State Hospital used to be. This is one of the, I'm pretty sure, the most notorious mental hospital in the country. A lot of abuse went on there. There was lobotomies performed on patients. There was experiments performed on patients. A lot of them lost their lives because they were
sad.
just treated so horribly. The conditions that that hospital was in was so inhumane, and no human should have ever had to go through what these patients went through. And these people just needed help. It's just very sad. They were so overcrowded. Like the nurse to patient ratio was just extreme.
Yeah.
With 2 student nurses and maybe 3 attendants, we have all we can do to bathe the patients, get them to cafeteria, take them to the doctors, give them their medications, and try to keep the place clean.
Now, when I was a kid growing up, we used to definitely go in there, and it was really scary. Like the second you walk on the grounds, you just feel like it's cold. It's not normal.
There's just something about abandoned hospitals in particular that's just like extra creepy. I don't know what it is, guys. I think it's just the thought of like a lot of people passed away in like these mental asylums or prisons or whatever, hospitals. Yo, Nadine, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it, Nadine.
It feels weird. Like you can tell somebody's watching you. There's underground tunnels underneath, so we used to run around them too, and they used to use those tunnels
underground
to transport
tunnels. Oh,
and
heck no.
There were still those like metal slab beds that they were still down there when we went in there, like, you know, in the 2000s. I felt my arm grabbed in there once, and I moved my flashlight because I thought it was my friend, and my friend was like over there, and I'm like, oh my God.
But
hell
this
no.
story gets even weirder still. Heather's dad lived in the same house as a boy. When Heather shows her dad the creepy footage, he tells her that a woman named Linda used to live in the house next door. And during the 1950s, Linda was a nurse at the old Byberry Mental Hospital.
Oh, what?
So did Heather catch the ghost of a nurse from the old abandoned hospital? And if not, why could no one else see the strange woman walking down the sidewalk?
Maybe it is the spirit of a nurse who worked at the mental hospital and she's walking home from her shift. Maybe she got off work and she's just walking home. Oh, that's creepy.
Ho ho, no. Cara Messina lives in an old house in New York State that was built in the 1800s and has a very tragic past. In the early to mid 1800s, the house was part of the Underground Railroad, a network for fugitive slaves seeking freedom. Slaves escaping the South were forced to hide under the house to avoid capture by authorities. Because of its dark history, Cara believes
the
that
Underground
house might be haunted,
Railroad.
and she says that while her family has lived there, they have had, quote, some ghostly activity through the years. So one day, Cara and her daughter are just relaxing around the house, and they start to hear a very strange sound coming from the basement.
So for the last 20 minutes, I've been sitting on my couch, and it's been dead silent, and all of a sudden I hear Santa, and I thought it was coming from outside, and it's not. And this is my basement.
Summer.
What the heck is that? Yeah, basements are creepy, especially
Tony, it's in the same box as Chucky right now.
especially old basements. Oh my God, and there's freaking Chucky dolls. Oh hell no.
Yeah, it's right there.
What?
Yeah, it's in there.
Right, but it hasn't been touched, and all of a sudden, after all of these months. And it's off.
Cara's daughter flips through a box, which ironically...
Guys, you know what the creepiest thing is? I've seen videos where there's like literal toys that don't even have batteries in them. I think I finally got that dang fly that was bothering me. It was like, you know, like a little fruit fly. It kept flying right by my face. I think I got him. But I've seen videos of toys that literally don't even have batteries in them, and they're playing or moving, or like the toys going off with no batteries in them. That's way creepier than a toy that has like batteries in it, you know? When the batteries are out, it's like, how the heck is it on?
It contains 2 old Chucky dolls, only to find that a Santa figurine has suddenly activated itself and is just talking away, even though the power switch is turned off. But there's something even weirder here that video viewers noticed after this clip was uploaded.
Really
Because,
shallow?
Did you hear it?
I had a statue of a Buddha and it moved all of the sudden, no joke. Ooh, that's creepy.
Right, but it hasn't been touched, and all of a sudden, after all of these months,
No stop.
and it's
What?
Just
Said
as
no
the Santa
stop.
doll is picked up and suddenly stops talking, it can be heard seeming to frantically yell, "No, stop!"
What the heck?
So is Car's basement haunted?
No
Is
jump.
the little Santa doll possessed
No
by some
jump.
wayward spirit? Or is it all just a very odd coincidence? You decide. Daddy Ghost.
Daddy
One morning,
goes.
A woman named
Heck no.
Cheyenne is taking care of her 2-year-old daughter when the little girl says something very strange.
Okay, who is
Oh
it?
God.
Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
It's always little kids who see ghosts. Thank God none of my kids have come up to me. I have a 3-year-old daughter and she's never came up to me and been like, "Oh, look, Dad, a ghost." I'd be like, "Oh, hell no," if that happened.
No, it's your daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
Yo, Stars
show
Pro, shout out to you, bro. Stars Pro.
Oh,
Your daddy's missing you.
my daddy's missing me?
That's your damn.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In you.
Okay, show me.
Oh God.
Her daughter seems to be referring to Cheyenne's dad.
Yeah, right there it says my dad passed away in 2002. That's a long time ago. 2002. Oh,
Just odd
jeez.
because not only has her daughter never met her granddad, but even Cheyenne herself was only just a toddler when her father passed away. So Cheyenne shows her daughter a picture, and the little girl confirms that it's the man she saw in the hallway of their
Oh
house.
no.
Yes?
Yes, it looks like that. Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
Yeah.
And Mabel, what does your ghost do? No.
What did you say he gave
Who
you?
knows?
A heart?
A hug. This is like
Uh-huh.
this is like scary and sad at the same time. At least the ghost seems to be nice. The ghost gave her a hug. It's not like a mean ghost
Daddy.
or like a demon.
2 days later, and it happens again.
Just see me.
What sees you? The ghost? What are you talking about?
Come on.
She said, "Let's go see the ghost." Oh my God.
Oh! The dryer scared me. You already freaked me out.
Oh, my arm.
Cheyenne says
Oh,
that her
no.
daughter still occasionally talks to the entity that the little girl now refers to as, quote, Daddy Ghost. But Cheyenne says that some online comments have scared her a bit.
She calls him Daddy Ghost. She's only had an experience like that 2 or 3 times. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, I try to capture it on video. I also had a lot of comments saying that it wasn't like something nice. It was something mean. That freaked me out, so don't say that again. A lot of people were telling me don't communicate with it. I'm not. I'm scared. She is, and she doesn't understand. So, tell him, Mabel.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation too because I've watched enough paranormal ghost videos where sometimes a spirit or a ghost will first show itself as like a nice presence or like just very nice, easygoing, non-threatening, but actually it is something more evil or dark and you have to be careful. Oh, it's kind of, yeah. It's a tough situation.
So is Cheyenne's daughter seeing the ghost of her granddad stopping by for a visit? What do you think? A grave situation. A young woman named Britt lives on a large horse ranch in the mountains. She says that lately, things around the ranch have gotten a little strange. Well, actually, they've gotten a lot strange. It all starts one day when Britt's dog Josie just completely freaks out.
Oh, now we're on to dogs. Now we're on to dogs. It's always little kids or dogs. Animals have a certain sense to them. Animals can sense things that humans can't. It's either like little kids can see ghosts, or dogs and cats, animals, they can sense like the paranormal world. Something like that.
I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way,
yo, thanks for subscribing.
In my front yard, I was just inside. I'm by myself with my dog. She's up in that room upstairs. You can literally.
There better not be a frickin' face in this window. I swear if I get jump scared, guys. I swear.
Josie? Josie?
Why did the dog stop barking? Where the hell is the dog? Oh no.
Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking.
There's something in the closet. Is that like a closet there or something? This like giant wooden door, is that to like a closet, or is that to like another room? The dog is just staring into that freaking, I don't know if it's another room or a closet there.
And she growled.
Yo.
And when she growled, I kind of like booked it. But I don't really know. Like, that's usually like her stance while she's waiting for me to come home, and I'm just like, is she waiting for someone to walk out of that closet? Like, I just don't really know.
Oh, heck no.
What she's staring at. Because again, like, this is usually how she looks when...
Please don't jump scare me, please.
She's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like... Like, what? What is it? What is it?
I feel like I'm about to be jump scared.
The dog starts ferociously barking at the upstairs bedroom closet for absolutely no reason. But little Josie's strange behavior doesn't stop there. As Britt mentioned, she has a private cemetery in front of her house where some of her family members and also several of their deceased pets
Hey Nadia, how are you?
Buried together.
Oh,
Recently,
dang.
the dog Josie has just started staring at the small graveyard.
Josie. Josie, what's going on?
The horses on the ranch often just stare toward the small cemetery as well.
Well, that's not creepy.
Why are the horses
What
just
are
like,
you looking at?
they're like frozen right there. They're like not moving, just frozen. What's up, Mary? How are you? What's up?
But now, weirdest of all, Britt says that lately the neighbors' cows have started to wander over to her property.
What?
And they also just weirdly stand around the small graveyard.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time now. It's a newer development.
It's literally a pet cemetery. Bad joke. That was a creepy ass movie too.
Why?
Pet Cemetery.
They just kind of come and freeze around this area. And they just kind of will freeze and...
What is happening?
So, yeah.
This is very strange. Why are these cows just standing there? What is going on?
Britt is confused and a little creeped out by all of the animals' strange behavior. But things are about to take an even more terrifying turn. One night, Britt orders some food from Uber Eats. The driver is a bit disturbed by the gathered cows at the graveyard, but he completes his delivery. And then things just get weird.
I'd be creeped out too. What the hell? Yo, what's up, Brandon? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, there's something weird. There's something weird going on here. Something weird going on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
This is location is outside. No here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
You're a cow?
I scared. There's a cow.
They're actually not mine. They wasn't showing up.
No.
No.
Oh.
They come hang out around here every night.
Yeah, good point. You said, aren't the cows supposed to be in a fenced area or something? I'm guessing not. Yeah, she said they're the neighbor's cows and they keep coming on her property. I'd complain to the neighbor, like, can you please put your cows away? Put your cows in a fenced area or something. They keep coming over on my property and they're being freaking creepy as hell.
Yeah. What would you do if this happened in your house?
Here. Oh my God. Hi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What are those cows freaking doing? Why are they acting all freaking creepy?
Freaking night. Like, even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just stand. And like,
alarm in the house goes off. Oh, hell no.
are you for real right now?
What? I'm sorry. I'd move out of this house. Hell no. Her house was built on like a freaking Indian burial ground or something.
Something sets off the alarm inside Britt's house, and as she carefully walks
What
back
just
inside,
happened?
some unseen force seems to actually grab and pull her shirt.
Oh!
She drops her food in terror and runs back out. Britt says that she was too afraid to return to the house. She spent the rest of the night in the family RV that was parked outside.
I missed that. You literally saw her shirt. You literally could see her shirt get pulled. That is freaking creepy. It's a freaking poltergeist.
Hunter or hunted. Nick and
Oh,
Ted
God.
from the YouTube channel The Hunting Public are out bow hunting on public lands in the remote wilderness of Missouri. Suddenly, they hear something that sends chills down their spine.
It's freaking big.
Now,
It's gonna
let me
be.
say before I
it's
show
Bigfoot.
you these clips, in accordance with YouTube guidelines, no one is shown being hurt in the following video. There's absolutely no evidence that any crime was committed in this video or that anyone was injured in any way. All right, so.
All right, thanks for
while Nick
letting me
and Ted are
know.
hunting, they hear a gunshot, followed by some insane screaming. They immediately grab their camera. And
Really,
start
George?
recording.
I missed it.
Now, Nick and Ted are in such a remote area of the Missouri woods that they have no cell service to call the authorities. So, all they can do is listen.
Wow, that's creepy. Yo.
He's screaming at the absolute top of their lungs over there. Very not good obscenities to someone else. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that.
Oh my God. I think yeah, I think whatever was being shot is no longer with us. That was like, I'm not going to go back and count, but like, it had to have been like 7 or 8 shots. You never have to fire that many rounds for a deer or an animal, unless it's like a bear or something, but I don't know. It was like 7 or 8 rounds. Dang. What is going on? What is happening? What is happening here?
Again, Nick
What's
tries
up,
to call
Josh?
someone to report the incident, but they still can't find a spot in the woods with cell service.
We ain't got any service in here, so can't call the police and tell them to go over there and see what the heck's going on, but sound like something off a dang horror movie over there. I mean, it sounds like a guy.
Yeah, I'm going to guess, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess that there was some people hunting and maybe these 2 guys got into a bad argument, and let's just say 2 guys went hunting and only 1 left. I don't know, but you could hear screaming and like 7 or 8 freaking shots. Like, what is going on?
Absolutely losing mind over there.
Yo.
At this point, Nick and Ted are totally freaked out. They just
What's
head
up,
back to
Cody?
their truck so that they can get out of there and call the police.
I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department.
Okay.
I was hunting, me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45.
What's up, Crystal? How are you? What's up?
Which is not uncommon. But then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just people obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there, and there was 20 or more gunshots ended up
20?
happening. I have pins dropped on a map about how far we were from where we think this was occurring. We didn't know what to do, and we had no service, so we're trying to report and see if anything had been reported about there.
Days later, Nick and Ted provide an update on what happened after their terrifying encounter in the woods.
So after that hunt, you can see we alerted proper authorities, and the days following that event, I had some contact with the state game warden, and
what
they
happened?
told me that they found nothing on this situation, and they went in there, and there was nothing to be found.
Even though Nick and Ted reported the disturbing incident and even provided GPS coordinates to
Maybe
local
it was
authorities,
ghosts.
nothing was found at the site.
Maybe it was
There's absolutely
maybe it was some ghost having an argument. It was just two ghosts out hunting.
no evidence that any kind of horrible event ever took place there.
You know, it freaked us out, and we really got unsettled by it, and we weren't scared that someone wasn't coming after us. But we had heard
that's
something
creepy
that it could
though.
have
That's
been,
weird.
Your mind goes to think about what could that be, and
2 ghosts
I
fighting.
immediately go to worst case scenario.
So did Nick and Ted just hear someone having a random temper tantrum or a breakdown? Was it
Yeah, 2 ghosts just out hunting. Yo, Fred, I told you that was my deer and you shot him. What are you gonna do about it, Frank? What am I gonna do about it? Bang, 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 bang. You just hear 2 ghosts fighting for the next 30 minutes. These guys.
just someone freaking out and maybe just shooting guns at a tree stump.
Oh, man.
Or was it something much more disturbing? You decide. For the full-length version of this video, be sure to check out the channel, The Hunting Public. Shadow of a Doubt.
Oh,
now, I've covered the strange
shadow
and
of
creepy
a
story of
doubt.
a woman named Rosanna in one of my previous videos. Rosanna lives in France in an apartment that she claims is intensely haunted by...
Maybe it's Call of Duty Ghost with 2 ghosts. Yeah. Yeah, man, let me unload at a tree stump. What could go wrong? They sound like they're redneck ghost. Oh, that's funny.
By some mysterious dark entity. One night while she is home alone, she starts to hear strange sounds coming from her children's playroom. What she catches on camera is truly chilling.
All right, we have the classic ball. Whoa, 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 whoa. We have the classic ball rolling by itself. That's a big no for me. I'm moving out of this house. No, thank you. Yeah, nope. Nope, nope. Time to leave. My day's going good, George. Thanks for asking, man. Appreciate it. What is that?
Toys in the playroom begin to move on their own, and as Rosanna goes to investigate, she notices something very strange. Did you see it? In the window reflection, the large shadowy figure of a man seems to be standing right behind her.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, because that's the outline there of the lady, but then this right here, guys. I thought that was the lady's head at first, but no, this is the lady's, I think the outline of the lady's body and her head. And then behind her, right there, that's a taller figure, taller than the woman. That's creepy.
Her. But when she spins around, there's no one there. Rosanna sees the strange shadow behind her again in the reflection, but then the figure just disappears. Rosanna claims that this dark spirit has haunted her apartment for months, but she just can't afford to move out right now.
You find the money, you
So
get
is
out of
Rosanna
there.
being haunted by some evil entity? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
I mean, I know things are tight nowadays, guys, with money and everything's very expensive. But I mean, if your apartment or house being haunted doesn't give you motivation to maybe get another job or make more money to move, I don't think anything will. She just says she doesn't have the money to move. Well, I mean, if a ghost living in your house doesn't give you motivation, I don't think anything's gonna motivate you to make more money.
You decide. A guide to the other side.
I tell you what, guys, I'd have like 2 or 3 jobs and I'd be like mowing people's lawns every day. I'd have like 4 or 5 different side hustles. I'd get the money to move out of that damn house. I'd find the money to move somewhere else. I tell you that.
A young woman named Diana posted a very disturbing video to Instagram. In the video, Diana and her brother are watching as the police arrive at a trailer at the edge of their property. The police are showing up for a wellness check after the sad, lonely
What's up,
man
Vincent?
who
How are
rents
you?
the trailer has not been seen for weeks.
Weeks?
It turns out that the man had unfortunately passed away inside the trailer. This is the footage.
Right there, right there. Wait, they're going up to Tom's place.
Oh, that's bad, guys. Someone hasn't been seen in weeks. Ooh, that's going to be a dirty, smelly situation. Ugh.
So wait, you said the light wasn't off?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. That's a lot of cops.
Holy shit, the hell? Oh my god, they're calling.
They're coming in.
Are they calling somebody in?
You know what the sad thing is here, though? Whenever someone passes away, obviously it's sad. But the really sad thing is nobody's checked on this guy in weeks. Nobody's gone to his trailer. I mean, I know they said he hasn't been heard from or seen in weeks. If I had a friend or someone living on my property, after like 3, 4, 5 days max of not hearing from that person, not being able to get in contact with them, I would, find a way to get into their trailer and be like, all right, what's going on? But they said it's been a couple weeks. That's a long time.
I'm going back over.
It's a long time.
Is there like an app you can check or something?
Oh, Jesus.
There's a figure behind the cop car? What? There's really a figure behind the cop car?
Did you see it? The small shadow of a child can be seen lurking outside the trailer, seemingly
A child?
and abandoned.
What?
But the police don't even notice, walking right by as if they can't even see the child.
I thought it was a full-grown man who passed away. Who the hell is the child?
And then suddenly the small child shadow just disappears.
Who's the
Watch
child?
again.
The kid disappears. Oh, hell no. Yep, the kid's gone.
The figure disappears
Or a small
into thin
ghost.
air right in front of the police.
Yo.
But they don't seem to see anyone. Viewers of the video pointed out that there was another odd apparition in this video. Something that looks like the shadowy figure of a man standing in the trailer window.
What?
So a few days later, Diana and her father go to check out the trailer, and things get really weird.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Jeez.
What was that?
What was that?
Aren't crows bad signs, guys? Like a black crow? Aren't they like a sign of death? A crow?
Ugh.
Yo.
Jeez.
Looks like he had a bit of a drinking problem. Yeah.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait. Did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like, I don't know, before. A long time ago.
He had a kid? What?
So first, Diana is terrified when a dead crow falls out of one of the cabinets, which seems odd as the man has only been deceased and out of the trailer for a few days. So how did the bird get there? But next, Diana sees a child's paintings on the refrigerator. Her dad tells her that the man had a horrible tragedy where his young daughter passed away many years ago at a very young age.
Oh, damn.
But the man kept
That
her
is
drawings
sad.
and mourned her for the rest of his life, descending into sorrow and alcoholism.
Oh.
So, is this
I said
childlike
earlier he had a drinking problem, which I kind of understand now. I'm not trying to judge the guy or nothing. I just saw lots of liquor in his kitchen, but I kind of understand now why he probably had a bit of a drinking problem if he lost his kid. That's really sad.
shadow figure, the man's daughter, coming back to meet him as he passes to the other side. What do you think?
Maybe that's
Mirror,
very
mirror.
weird.
A woman who goes by the online name
Guys, it was probably his daughter like waiting for him or something. That's actually like really sad and like creepy at the same time. Who's this person?
You think? Mirror, mirror.
Mirror,
A woman
mirror.
who goes by the online name Pixie Paranormal 1 is a psychic medium and paranormal investigator who has had quite a few strange experiences. Some that could be supernatural.
What is this noise?
Oh, hell no.
What is this noise?
And she has also experienced some scary incidents that are just a bit too real.
Terrifying. What?
Got a load of kids running around in here. Can you hear them all?
I would not be out in the woods like that. Heck no.
That's a girl crying. Can you hear that, guys? Hang on. Turn the lights off for a minute, people. Turn these lights off. Turn these lights off. Hang on a minute, guys. We've got to turn these lights off. Turn the lights off. Turn that light off. Turn it off. I don't mind hunting ghosts, but it's the humans that worry me. Human beings freak me out.
But recently, Pixie Paranormal 1 had a very chill.
The lady said it's not ghosts that scare me. It's people or humans that scare me. Ain't that the truth?
Experience right in her own home. She heard cracking sounds coming from her mirror, so she grabbed her phone and began to film. What happens next is truly bizarre.
Go up here.
Look at my mirror.
Oh,
My mirror's cracking by itself.
What?
Wait, stop.
Harry, my mirror is cracking by itself.
It's cracked twice so far. Why is it cracking by itself?
No fucking idea.
There's too big.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
Alright, let's just carry on with it. Bye.
And if you guys know, if you watch enough Ghost Adventures and paranormal shows, what are mirrors, guys? A lot of times mirrors are portals for ghosts and spirits to travel in between. Mirrors. And the mirror started cracking. That is very bizarre. That is very freaking strange.
I know, Mum, I know. There's a naughty mirror. Wait.
A naughty what? A naughty?
I know.
Little British accent.
There's a naughty spirit.
The woman's mirror begins to break and crack.
The little kid just said, maybe it's a naughty spirit.
Phone right before her eyes. Even weirder, what looks like a strange misshapen face seems to appear in the slowly shattering.
Oh, I do kind of see a face in the mirror. That's freaking creepy. It's a naughty spirit.
Mirror. So did one of the ghosts from Pixie's Paranormal Investigations follow her home? Or just what?
Guys, you can kind of see a face, like the outline of his like eyes and a nose. That's freaking creepy.
You think is happening here?
Hell no.
Scary video.
Scary bit.
And now again, we end this video with clips that might seem a bit spooky at first, but nah. Case in point.
Scary videos.
Urbex explorers are checking out an abandoned old building, and they find something absolutely terrifying.
What the heck? Are these guys like exploring a abandoned building and there's just some dude chilling in one of the rooms? What the heck? That's no good.
Now,
What's up,
honestly,
David?
squatters in an abandoned house are much more dangerous than ghosts. Also, did you notice that this guy's friend has on the same jacket as the squatter guy?
Yeah, okay.
Truly bizarre.
Truly
And
fake
next
video.
up, a woman is chilled to her core as she wakes up to strange activity. Some unseen force seems to open and close the drawers in her bedroom.
Not the drawer opening by itself. No. Probably has like a little motor on it. It's probably some special dresser that has like a remote control to like open up the drawers or some crap. Oh, it's a cat?
But then it's just her cat stuck inside her wardrobe chest.
It's a freaking cat.
There's his little head peeking out. And finally, Pedro sees a very strange shadow of what seems to be a person who is just not there.
Oh, what is that? It's a creepy little man. It's a little miniature man sitting on the table. No. All right, guys, that was Scary Videos You Can't Unsee by Nuke's Top 5. Feels good. It's been like I said, it's been like 3 or 4 months. I can't remember exactly, but it's been at least like 3 months since I've watched Nuke's Top 5. So, Scary Videos You Can't Unsee. Gotta love Nuke's Top 5. Oh. All right, let me go back here. What do you guys want to do next? What do you guys want to do next? Mr. Nightmare? Mr. Nightmare, Chilling Scares, Bizarre Bub, Slapped Ham. It's been a while since I've watched Mr. Nightmare. Really, Vincent? That's funny. We'll do a Mr. Nightmare. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be live tonight, guys. I've been live for just over an hour now. But I don't really have anything going on, so oh man, that kind of stinks. Looks like that might be a new thing. It looks like Mr. Nightmare. It must be a new thing he's doing. He has a lot of videos that are members only. I already have a few memberships on YouTube, so I don't really have the money to be buying a bunch of memberships right now. I might have to, though, because there's a lot of members only videos on here, and I can't watch them. Wait, do you have members? Oh, it's like $10 a month. That's not terrible, I guess. $10 a month isn't bad. I'm not going to do it right now tonight, but man, guys, there's so many. I'm trying to remember the last. It's been so long. What was the last? YouTube like messed up or something, because if I watched a video, it used to have like a red bar across the bottom, like here. It used to have like a red bar there, so I would know that I already watched that video. Now it's like, for some of these videos, I'm pretty sure I've already watched. There's no red bar across it. Like, what the heck? I know the newer videos I haven't watched. What do you guys want to do? Let's pick between these two. What do you guys think? 3 disturbing, true, scary stories from a day ago or 8 days ago, 4 scary true Uber horror stories. Or there's 3 scary true last day of school horror stories. Ooh. 3 very scary true someone's outside horror stories? I don't know. What do you guys think? Which one do you want me to watch? What's up, Thunder Gaming? Yeah, I actually just watched a Nuke's Top 5 video, so. Sorry, guys, I'm just checking something really quick to figure out why that didn't pop up for some reason. That's bizarre. Truly bizarre. Uber stories. Looks like a lot of people are saying it, Raphael, I think it's a new thing. Yeah, Mr. Nightmare never had he never had members only videos. It must be a new thing he's doing. Which is smart. You know, it's a good way to make extra money on your channel, but I kind of don't like it to the point where not everyone can watch the video because not everyone has $10 to become a channel member. So then those videos only members can watch, but it is what it is, I guess. Nighttime Spooks. I've heard of that channel before. Making sure I haven't watched this one before. Yeah, Vincent, that's strange. Guys, I got to use the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back, and then we'll watch 4 scary true Uber horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Give me a minute, guys, and I'll be back. Yo, guys, I swear these videos better not freaking curse or haunt my house. My office is in the basement of my house, which I have a finished basement, so being down here in my office, it's not too scary, but my bathroom is upstairs, so I had to go upstairs. When I went upstairs, I swear I heard some freaking weird little laugh noise, but I'm like, maybe it was just... Maybe someone was watching TV in the other room or something. I don't know. That was freaking weird. These videos better not freaking curse me. Yo, what's up, Brandon? It's been a while since I watched Mr. Nightmare. All right, let's go ahead and check out this video. Let's go ahead and check out Mr. Nightmare 4 Scary True Uber Horror Stories. Ouch. Story 1.
Back in 2020, when the pandemic was still causing all kinds of chaos, I started driving for Uber to make ends meet. I was laid off from my retail job and needed quick income. The thing about rideshare gigs is you see all kinds of people.
Yo, Katie, thanks for the follow.
Working late nights like I was. There were awkward encounters, drunk passengers, weird conversations, but none of that compares to what happened one Friday night in October. It was a little after midnight, and I had just dropped someone off at a hotel near the outskirts of town.
Yo, Metal Ryan, thank you for being a member for 42 months.
The pickup location was about 6 minutes away.
Thank you, Ryan.
A bowling alley that was part of a strip mall. Pretty standard stuff. The name on the ride said Derek. I accepted it and started heading over.
Derek's no good.
The area was quiet when I arrived.
Bad news.
Just a few dim parking lot lights. No cars in sight, and the bowling alley looked closed. But there was a man standing alone under one of the lights, wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. He was tall, maybe 6'2", with his hands in his pockets, head down like he was looking at his shoes. As I pulled up, he looked at me, but didn't wave or move. I rolled down the window and said, "You Derek?" He nodded slowly, walked over, and got into the back seat behind me. I started the trip and asked him if the destination in the app was correct, and addressed...
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. That's sketchy as hell. Major red flags. Getting picked up in some weird abandoned area. No, that's weird. Very sketchy.
It's about 20 minutes away in a residential neighborhood I'd never been to. He said, "Yeah, that's right," in a quiet, calm voice. I remembered thinking he sounded a little off. Not drunk or high, just sort of flat, emotionless. But I didn't think
he's a psychopath serial killer, that's why.
I started driving.
He has no emotion.
Didn't say anything for the next 5 or 6 minutes. I glanced at him in the rearview mirror now and then, and every time I looked, he was staring straight ahead. Not out the window or at his phone, just at the back.
Guys, this would legit be me if I was a Uber driver and I was in like a really weird situation like that. I'd pull up and be like, "Gee." I'd look over. I just drive away. I just drive off. Like, not today. Not today. I'm not dying today.
Tried to break the silence by asking how his night was going. He paused, then said, "Just needed to get out of there." I asked, "Out of where?" He said, "Doesn't matter." So I didn't push it. We drove a while longer. About 15 minutes in, I realized we were getting closer to the destination, but the address was in a really isolated part of town. No streetlights, big yards, and lots of trees.
Hey, what's up, Drew?
As we approached the
I
address,
love Mr. Nightmare too.
He suddenly leaned forward and said, "Actually, can you pull into that driveway right there?" He pointed to a house on the right. The house was dark. No lights on inside or out.
Hell no. Yo, this is a classic. I've watched too many Mr. Nightmare videos and scary videos, stories, whatever. This is a classic setup. There's like probably 2 or 3 other guys inside this abandoned looking house. The person in the car, Derek, that the Uber driver picked up, this weird Derek guy, is luring him to this house, and then 2 or 3 other guys are going to come out, try to jump the Uber driver, take his wallet, any money he has, maybe take the vehicle. Classic setup. I might be wrong. Maybe there's a weird twist to this story, but this has to be just like a classic robbery setup.
It looked old and abandoned, honestly. It had an overgrown lawn and paint peeling.
Hey, good night, Ryan.
There was also no car in the driveway. I said, "Is this your place?"
Hey, Drew, thanks for the follow,
Just
Drew.
Pull in. I hesitated, but turned into the driveway. I stopped near the front of the house and put the car in park. He didn't get out. I looked back at him and said, "Everything all right?" He stared at the front door and said, "Wait here." Then he got out and started walking toward the house.
Bro, drive.
He didn't go to the front door. He walked around the side of the building and disappeared from...
The second Derek got out of the vehicle, my foot would be pushed to the max on the gas pedal and my ass would be out of there.
From view. I sat there for maybe 2 minutes, trying to decide what to do. The ride was technically still going. I didn't want to drive off and get penalized.
Where's the eject button,
I also
Crystal?
felt like something wasn't right.
What if Uber drivers had an eject button in their car? Someone they don't like, they push the eject button and it just... There's like a giant spring underneath the seat. You open up your sunroof and it just shoots the person out of the car. Nope, not today.
My gut told me this guy wasn't just heading inside to grab something. Finally, I ended the trip manually. I marked it as complete and started to back out of the driveway. But before I could shift into reverse, I saw him walking back toward the car, fast. His hands were empty, and he had this strange look on his face, like he was angry or excited.
Bro.
I unlocked the doors because I didn't want to make it a confrontation, but something in me was screaming not to let him back in.
Dude, why are you still at this location? The second Derek got out of the car, you lock your doors and you drive off. Why are you, bro? An Uber job is not worth your freaking life. I'm sure there's jobs that pay a lot better, and a bonus, you'll be alive.
He opened the rear door, got in, and said, "Take me to the other place." I asked, "What other place?" He said, "Just drive, I'll tell you." I said, "You need to put it in the app." He didn't answer. He just stared at me in the mirror.
Crystal, you're not even joking. No survival instincts in this driver. This is like the classic horror movie brain mentality where you have like one brain cell. Oh, there's someone chasing me with a knife. I'm sitting in my vehicle and I'm just going to sit there and someone's running at my car with a knife. No, drive away. You're in a vehicle. You're much faster than someone on foot. This is like every horror movie character ever. They're just dumb.
I said again, "I can't take you anywhere unless you put it in the app." He didn't say a word. After a few seconds, he told me to drive to where I picked him up. I didn't want to argue anymore, so I started heading back toward the strip mall.
He's taking him to another location. Oh my God.
He wasn't talking, but I could feel him watching me.
This is so
The hairs
dumb.
on my arms were standing
This is
up.
so dumb.
He was still staring at the back of my head. At one
Right,
point,
Drew?
I tried to lighten the mood. I said, "Rough night?" He replied, "You could say that." I asked if everything's all right, and he said, "Not yet." I didn't ask any more questions. When we got back to the street...
Yeah, that's a good point. A wallet with $3 cash. Yeah, if I was an Uber driver or any situation like this where a taxi driver where I'm picking people up and taking them to different locations, I would not carry large amounts of cash on me. Absolutely not. I'd probably have my wallet. I'd probably have a dummy wallet, guys. I just thought about this. I've never driven for Uber or a taxi, anything like that. But if I was an Uber driver, taxi driver, I would have a fake wallet with like a $10 bill in it, a couple ones, and like a fake credit or bank card. And then if someone tried to rob me, I would literally hand them that wallet. There's 10, 15 bucks. You have like a fake a fake card in there that doesn't work, or maybe like an old credit or bank card that's expired, no longer works. Hand it to them and they'll be off. That's actually a really, anyone who drives taxi or Uber, have a fake wallet. That's a good idea.
Strip mall. I parked under the same light where I picked him up, but before I could say anything, he leaned forward and asked, "You ever wonder how you're gonna die?" I froze. I laughed awkwardly and said, "Not really something I think about." He didn't laugh. He just leaned back in his seat, and after a few seconds, he said, "I think about it all the time." Then he opened the door and got out without another word.
What?
He didn't close the door right away. He just stood there for a second, half in and half out of the car.
Derek's a little crazy.
He said, "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." He shut the door and walked off into the darkness behind the bowling alley. I sat there for a minute, too shaken to move. Eventually, I drove home, constantly checking my mirrors. When I got home, I looked at the trip details again. Something was off. The name had changed. It no longer said Derek. It was blank. No name, no profile picture, no trip history.
What?
It was like the ride never happened. I contacted Uber support to report it, but they told me the trip data was unavailable. They said sometimes that happens if the app crashes or if the rider cancels midway. But I know what I saw. I know I completed the trip. I know the man got in and out of my car, and I know he said what he said. "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." I've never seen him again, and I hope I never did.
That's crazy. You picked up the wrong guy? What? I'm confused.
No. But every time I get a ping in a dimly lit parking lot or have a silent passenger in the back seat, I remember that night.
He's insane.
And I remember that feeling that something terrible could have happened. That maybe he changed his mind at the last second, or maybe he was never planning to do anything. Just wanted to scare someone.
I better be getting paid extra if you're driving him back.
And if you ever found
hopefully.
car.
That was a very strange story. He picked up the wrong person. Story 2.
This happened in 2021 when I was driving for Uber full-time. I live in a city that gets a lot of tourists, especially in the summer, so rideshare gigs can be decent money if you're consistent. I worked mostly nights, partly because I'm a night owl, and partly because it's less traffic and better tips from drunk passengers coming back from bars. The night this happened, it was around 1:30 in the morning. A pretty normal Saturday night crowd. I had just dropped off a group of college
in the morning?
kids who
Dang.
wouldn't stop yelling in the back of my car, so I was glad to get a request that looked quieter. The name said Chris, and the pickup location was a small side street just off downtown. The weird thing was, the
Not
pin
picking
was
you up
in
tonight,
kind
bro.
of an odd area.
You're gonna have to walk home.
Not near any
Bye.
bars or apartments. More like
Stop
near the
calling me.
back lot of an old strip mall. But I figured maybe it was just a bad GPS marker. It happens sometimes. I drove over and saw a guy standing at the corner, hoodie on, jeans, staring down at his phone. I pulled up and said, "Chris?" He nodded and got in the back without saying much. He didn't smell like alcohol or slur his words. He seemed sober and just really quiet. He didn't say hello, nor did he answer when I asked how his night was going. Some people just aren't talkers, so I didn't think much of it.
Oh, God.
I started the ride, and the drop-off was on the opposite side of town, 25 minutes away, in a suburban neighborhood I'd been to maybe once or twice before. The thing was, it was dark out there, like no streetlights in some areas. Pretty isolated. I noticed about 5 minutes into the trip that Chris had his phone out, but he wasn't texting or calling anyone. He was holding it flat in his lap with the flashlight on, just shining the beam upward, slightly toward my seat. I asked him kind of half joking, "Everything all right back there?" He just mumbled, "Yeah," and then turned the flashlight off. The next 20 minutes were dead silent, just the hum of the engine and a weird tension building in the car. I don't know how to describe it. Something just felt off about this guy. Not threatening,
That
but
was
definitely
me.
unsettled, like he wasn't really there. We got to the neighborhood, and I followed the GPS to the house. But as we pulled up, I noticed it was totally dark. No porch light, no inside lights, nothing. I asked, "Is this the right place?" Chris didn't answer. He just sat there. I turned around and looked at him. I repeated myself a little louder, saying, "Hey, is this it?" He stared past me out the window. I repeated myself one more time, and finally he nodded. So I put the car in park and said, "Have a good night." He didn't move. He just sat there. So I asked again, "Are you good?" He finally reached for the handle and stepped out, but he didn't close the door. He just stood outside the car with the door open, facing the house. I sat there waiting. A few seconds passed, then 20, and then a full minute. I was just about to say something when he suddenly turned around.
Well, that's not freaking awkward as hell, isn't it? When you arrive at someone's destination and they're just like sitting in the car and won't leave. That's not awkward at all, right?
Looked at me through the open door and said, "I need to go back."
Oh, hell no.
I said, "Back where?" He said, "Where you picked."
Yo, story one, the guy did the same thing. They drove to that house and he's like, "Take me back to where you picked me up." The same dude. I'd be like, "Get your ass out of my car. I'm not taking you back anywhere."
Me up. His tone was flat with no emotion. I didn't know what to say. That was a 25-minute drive, and it wasn't like I could just reverse the trip. I told him he'd have to request a new ride, but he just stared at me. He begged me, saying, "Please, I need to go back." I told him again,
"Get out of my car right now."
Request it through the app.
No,
That's when
sorry.
He said something that sent chills up my spine. He said, "I can't. They're not gone yet." My only response could be, "Who's not gone?" He didn't answer. He just stood there, still holding the door open.
What is
I noticed he was
happening?
breathing heavily. At that point, I started getting seriously uncomfortable. I said, "Look, I can't just start a new ride unless you request it." He stared for another second, then slowly backed away and closed the door.
Hello? What?
I said, "Are you scared tonight? It's a very scary night."
Don't call me again. Oh no.
The yes man is coming for you.
Oh! Oh gosh, I'm not doing that.
He walked toward the house, even though it was pitch black and looked empty. I waited until he got to the porch before I pulled off. The moment I turned the corner, I ended the trip
yes
in the
man
app
just
and
called
started
me.
heading back toward downtown. A couple blocks down, I stopped at a 24-hour gas station to use the bathroom and get a drink. I parked at the side of the building, went inside, and came back out maybe 4 minutes later. And when I got back to my car, I felt like my brain short-circuited. Chris was sitting in the back seat, same hoodie and same expression. I thought I had locked the doors before going inside, but somehow he was in the back of the car.
Go away, Chris!
I opened the driver's side door and stepped back in slowly, keeping my eye on him through the mirror.
Bro thinks he's the main character, right, Drew?
He just said, "Take me back." I said, "I'm calling the cops," and reached for my phone. That's when he leaned forward, close enough for me to hear his breath, and said, "They're still in the house." I don't know why, but I didn't call the police.
Who is Chris talking
Something
about?
The way he said that made me feel like he was having some kind of episode.
Who's in the house?
I played along and said, "Whose house is that?" And he said, "My parents."
These videos have me paranoid. I feel like I just heard someone walking above me. Pretty sure everyone in my house is in bed. Hello? It's probably just my cat or something.
I asked him if he lived there, and he said not anymore. That made the hairs stand up on my neck. I
Not anymore.
Slowly driving
Bro,
back
what?
to where I picked him up. Every part of me was screaming not to do it, but I didn't know what else to do.
Right, Crystal?
As we got closer, he started breathing heavier. He was rocking slightly in the back seat. At one point, he whispered, "They're still there. They won't leave."
Yo, Crystal, what's up with these Uber drivers who are like, have zero survival instinct, like you said on story number 1? We're on story number 2, and bro should have locked his car. Like, why did you not lock your car?
No matter what I do.
Come on, bro.
When we pulled up to the house, there were still no lights, still no signs of anyone living there. He got out without saying anything and then walked up to the front door and stood there.
I bet Chris
He
is a
didn't knock or
ghost.
anything.
It's probably
He
a
just stood
ghost.
still. I waited maybe 30 seconds, then pulled away again, making damn sure the doors were locked. I drove 3 blocks, parked under a streetlight, and sat there for 10 minutes trying to process what just happened. I debated calling the cops, but what would I even say? That a guy got into my car twice and said weird things?
Yeah, what do you say?
There was no crime technically as far as I knew, so I just drove home and didn't sleep that night. The next day, I reported the ride to Uber, and honestly, I regretted not reporting this to the police because the man might have been sick in the head needing help. I hope he didn't hurt anyone. Who knows if that house was...
Yeah, but bro, it's not your problem. Don't feel guilty about it. Like, the dude may have been sick in the head or had mental issues, but like, that's not your problem. You're just trying to do your job as an Uber driver. Don't stress about it. Just get the guy out of your car and move on with your life.
Really his parents' house, or if he actually was just having a manic episode.
It's like they get these Uber drivers from GTA. Story 3. Yeah, right, Crystal?
I'm an 18-year-old girl that lives alone in my apartment with my dog. I live about 8 miles out of town, so getting food delivered can be a hassle sometimes. I never thought anything of Uber Eats being bad. You may hear some stories, but never think they will happen to you. At least that's what I thought.
You never know.
It was Friday evening. I was cleaning my apartment, getting ready for my boyfriend to come over. We're long distance, so I only get to see him on weekends, so I usually try to get it cleaned up before he arrives on Saturday. I had been cleaning for about 2 hours, and it was past 6 p.m., so I was feeling hungry. I didn't want to dirty any dishes, as I just cleaned them all and cleaned the kitchen. I decided to order food so I wouldn't have to make a mess. I ordered my food and got the notification that my driver was on his way and driving a white Honda Fit Sport. I'm a young girl living on my own, so I have my delivery instructions set to leave my order at my door for contactless delivery. I was sitting in my living room watching TV. I got the notification that my food was delivered. As soon as I got that notification, I jumped up, eager to get my food. I was starving. When I opened the door to grab my food, it wasn't there, so I thought maybe he set it at the wrong door. But looking down at all the doors, none of them had the food at them. So I went back in and was gonna message him.
I'd be pissed if I was hungry. I'd be like, it says my food's delivered. Where's my damn double cheeseburger and fry? I'd be mad. Especially if I was hungry.
When I heard a knock at my door. It was my next door neighbor. He was holding my food. He said, "Hey, sorry, I picked up your food from your delivery driver because he was looking through your windows, and I wasn't sure what he was doing." I took the food and thanked him, wondering what the hell just happened. I went back in, ate my food, and enjoyed a movie when I started to get ready for bed. I took a shower, then went to turn off my TV and make sure all my doors were locked before going to bed.
Wait, hold up. Reaper Haunt says DoorDash always takes my food sometimes. You know, I live in a smaller town, guys. I've never done the Grubhub, Uber Eats. I've never taken a taxi. I have my own vehicle. If I want to go somewhere, I drive myself. You know, if I want to go somewhere, I'll just drive myself. If I want to pick up food, I'll just drive to the restaurant or whatever, pick it up, bring it home. I'm not spending an extra $10, $15, $20 for a delivery fee, a food pickup fee. You know, you get like a $15 meal and then it ends up being $30 with the Uber Eats or Grubhub delivery fee and all these extra charges and taxes. I'll just go pick up the food myself. It's too expensive.
I laid down in bed, called my boyfriend, and eventually ended up falling asleep.
Oh, that's another one, DoorDash. Randy, I've never done DoorDash. Like I said, I live in a smaller town. All the restaurants and places I can get food at in the area where I live, it's within like a 5 to 10 minute drive. So I don't have to drive, like 30 minutes away to get food or nothing. I'll just drive myself.
I woke up a few times during the night to my dog growling at the window or the back door. My dog isn't a huge, scary dog. He's a small 5-pound Morkie, but it's still pretty scary when he growls at something and catches you off guard. I finally got him to calm down and go back to sleep.
There's going to be a peeping Tom in the window.
Minutes later,
someone's looking through the window.
On my window. My dog started going crazy, barking, growling, and even whimpering.
What's up, Nick?
I couldn't move in my bed. I took the bed sheets and pulled them over my head, just leaving enough to not cover my eyes so I could see the window. I called the police and whispered into the phone quietly.
Crystal.
I explained to the operator that someone is in my backyard and my window doesn't lock, so it can easily be lifted up. She told me to go to a different room and police would be at my apartment shortly. I ran to my kitchen and grabbed a knife, just waiting to see blue and red lights or hear sirens. It felt like forever. I looked out the window of my kitchen and never expected to see what I saw. The Uber driver's car that delivered my food. His car was sitting across the street from my apartment. When you open the door to my apartment, there's a large open field to the left that's used for parking trailers and letting dogs play. He was parked there, but I didn't see anyone in the car. I put two and two together and thought to myself, he's in my backyard.
Oh, hell no.
The police finally arrived. I could barely even speak. I was shaking and crying. I explained to one officer what happened, while the other went to check out my backyard, which is where my bedroom window is. Another officer who arrived went to check his car because it was still in the field, but he wasn't in his car. The two officers came back and started talking with the officer I was speaking to, telling her there's footprints in my backyard, which it had just rained the night before, so it was very muddy outside. I started panicking once I heard that, not just because that's not what you want to hear, but also because where was this guy if he didn't come back arrested with the cops and wasn't in his car?
Who the hell is it?
My neighbor came outside to see what was going on. The officers explained to him what was happening. Then he spoke about how he picked up my food for me earlier that day. The neighbor invited me to sleep over at his apartment for the night if it made me feel any better. Oddly, I passed on the offer, and when all the cops left, I went back into my apartment. Thinking it was all over, I took a few hours to get comfortable.
I muted my mic. I had to sneeze. It was very loud.
Enough to fall asleep. But at 2 a.m., I woke up to banging on my front door and heard police. There's no way this is happening right now, I thought to myself.
Nick,
I got up
thank you for joining the Yesh Mob.
It was the woman I spoke to earlier.
Thank you, Nick.
She explained they stayed at my apartment, hidden to watch for that guy, in case he showed back up. And he did. They caught him walking up to my front door, thinking he was going to try to find a way in. My heart fell to my stomach when I heard her say that. She then explained he was arrested, and I don't have to worry about him anymore. I thanked her, and went back to try and sleep. Unfortunately, I couldn't fall asleep this time. I also don't use Uber Eats anymore when I'm home alone.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Just go pick up the food yourself.
I was 26 at the time, and I'm male. I was in Washington, D.C. on a sort of vacation, visiting my then-fiancée. I'll call her Sarah for the sake of the story. I was visiting for a graduation she was having for her basic training. It was a big deal for her family, and she asked me to be there for it, so I said why not and booked the flight to be there. I'd be arriving about a week before the rest of her family, so she and I could have some time, just the two of us, before she would be busy with having all of her family there for the occasion. She stayed with me at my hotel during this time, and eventually, we decided we wanted to go and explore some of the nearby historical sites that Washington had to offer. I'd never been there, of course, so the idea piqued my interest, and we decided to do it. Once we arrived at our location, we spent about 4 hours walking around and seeing all the sights. From the Lincoln Memorial to the Washington Monument, the Congress Building, and even the White House. It really was a fun and exciting experience for myself to see all these places, as I had missed out on going on a school trip in high school to visit them. Sarah at the time seemed to appreciate my interest in them as well, and we really enjoyed ourselves. After we finally decided we had enough walking around and were ready to return to the hotel, we used the Uber app to call for a ride. We had used it earlier to arrive and had no issues, so we decided to just use it again for the ride back. Sarah made the request on her phone, while I sat down under some shade and waited. I was pretty tired from all the walking we did, and I could feel my body just ready to get back to the hotel for a long-needed nap. Eventually, after about 10 minutes of waiting, a car pulled up in front of us along the side of the road. Sarah motioned for me that this was the car, as the place they stopped at was not a parking spot or a place a car would just stop at on its own. I stood up and followed her to the car, where she opened the back door and stepped inside, asking the man, "Uber for Sarah?" And he gave a slight nod without saying anything. So I followed her into the car and shut the door behind me. Now looking back on this, I realized how stupid both her and myself were in doing this. We should have asked for the driver's name and verified the car was a match to the one on the app. I didn't have access to any of this myself, and she made the request on her phone, so it didn't really cross my mind at the time to do any of this. As we both sat in the back of the car, which was a gray-colored minivan, the driver didn't speak to us. I found this a bit odd, as any other driver I'd ever had would at the very least greet me once I entered or confirmed my name. But this guy, nothing. He started driving without acknowledging either of us, other than the nod he gave.
Yeah, you probably just got kidnapped. It's probably the wrong person picking you up.
When Sarah asked him if he was our Uber, and I did pick up on how weird it was, but I was tired and didn't really feel like trying to engage with the man myself. I laid my head back and just closed my eyes. I then felt a tap on my arm.
Angry
Sarah
Wyatt show?
what
What's
felt
up,
like only
Wyatt?
5 minutes of the drive. I opened my eyes and looked at her, and she didn't speak to me. I could see the look on her face was one of worry, and it had me wondering what exactly she was concerned about. She then pointed to her phone, which was showing the route the Uber would take to drive us back to our hotel.
It's the wrong route.
It didn't take me long to realize that the way we were going was not the way the route had said.
You were just kidnapped.
It was the opposite way. I could see Sarah's face drain with color shortly after, when a notification popped up on her phone saying our Uber had arrived, followed by a message from the driver asking where we were.
I told you.
My heart sank into the pit of my stomach. It was then I realized how dumb I was by not verifying the car and driver before we just both stepped in.
Yeah.
The picture that was on Sarah's phone within the app did not match the driver, and I knew we had gotten ourselves into a situation. I slowly looked back towards the driver, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what this man's intentions were, or what he was capable of. And honestly, I didn't want to find out.
This is not good. Not good.
I just knew at that moment, I had to get both Sarah and I out of that car. I leaned forward and told the man that we had changed our minds and would be fine just being let out where we were in an attempt to get us out of the situation without alarming the man of what we knew. He glanced at me through the rearview mirror in the first actual acknowledgement of us he had given since we stepped into the vehicle. I caught his glance as he stared at me without saying a word in what felt like minutes, but was probably only 10 seconds. He didn't stop the car though. He didn't even say a word in response to me, and just kept driving the car as if nothing had been said.
Yeah, you're about
My patience had run out.
Where is he taking
this man
them?
had in store for us wasn't good. I then did the only thing I could think of at that moment and reached into my pocket, pulling out my pocket knife. I flipped the blade out, and without wasting another second,
really,
I told the
Nick?
driver, I know
That's
you're
crazy.
not our Uber driver.
Wow.
I don't know what your plan is here, or what you think you're about to do to us, but I have a knife, and if you don't pull this car over right now, I have no problem using it.
Oh.
The driver's eyes quickly looked at me again within the rearview mirror, and I knew he could see the knife gripped tightly in my hand. He quickly pulled the van over, and I heard the doors unlock. Sarah and I wasted no time in getting out of that car as fast as we could. The moment
Thank God they had a knife. Oh my gosh.
when we were both
You need to I feel like if you're riding Uber or getting in a vehicle with someone you don't know, you need to have like a knife or pepper spray, something to defend yourself. Just especially if you're like a lady, you know.
out, the man
Even
sped off.
if you're a guy, have a knife or
We
something.
took a moment to gather ourselves as Sarah was having a panic attack, and I myself was still wrapping my head around what the hell just happened. Sarah quickly pulled out her phone and responded to our actual
What's up,
Uber
Andrew? How you
driver
doing, man?
and informed him of our location and asked if he could come pick us up.
Right, Crystal, stay strapped.
The actual driver arrived within a few minutes, and this time we made sure it was the right one. We told him everything that had happened, and it was then that he informed us something that made the blood in my veins go cold. He told us there had been multiple instances recently where people were posing as Uber drivers in the area, as it was an easy way to find many tourists and people not from the area that wouldn't think twice about just getting into a car thinking it was a Lyft or Uber.
Yo, that's crazy.
Apparently many people had gone missing, and they could only assume the worst. He told us both
They're
we
probably
were lucky we noticed when we
trafficked or
did,
frickin'
and hadn't gotten further away from where we had been picked up.
Who knows
which was
what?
Probably the only reason the man let us go, and of course the fact that I was armed. We made it back to the hotel without issue, and we quickly reported it to the police. We gave the best description of the man and the car that we both could, and the police told us they'd call us with any information they could find. We never heard back from them, so I assume the man was never caught or found, and that worries me that he could still be out there doing this to others. Again, I realized how stupid we both were after all this, not verifying whose car it was we were getting into. But let this be a reminder to everyone listening, do just that. Always verify your Uber drivers, and always make sure you're aware of your surroundings.
Yo, honestly, I'm just curious. How many of you guys have used Uber, Lyft, some sort of service where someone picks you up? I personally have never used Uber or Lyft. Like I said, I have my own vehicle. I live in a smaller town. If I need to go somewhere, I just drive myself. If I need to go anywhere, I just drive myself. I've never had the need for Uber, Lyft, whatever. Me, I did, but I don't trust the apps. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Lyft. Can you not drive, Crystal? Or do you not have a car? But guys, these were some crazy stories. 4 scary, true Uber horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Gonna leave a like on that. Oh, Crystal, by the way, I messed around last night a little bit with the repo game, Crystal, and I figured out the controls. I like to use a controller over mouse and keyboard. I've just always used an Xbox controller, so that's like what I'm used to. So, and Z-Man showed me around the game a little bit, repo, so I plan on playing that maybe, well, it's 101, so it's technically Sunday now. I plan on playing the repo game sometime soon. That looks like a fun game. We'll have to test it out. How late are you going to be up tonight, Crystal? Maybe after the live stream. I don't know what Ryan or what Z-Man's doing, but maybe we could test out the repo game, make sure everything's working, maybe test it out. Let's see here. You guys having fun tonight? You guys like the scary reactions? We did 2 longer reactions so far tonight. We did a Nuke's Top 5. We did a Nuke's Top 5 reaction, and we just watched that Mr. Nightmare video. Guys, is Z-Man still here or did he leave? I haven't seen Z-Man in a minute. Good night, gotta go to bed. Yeah, it's past 1 in the morning. You're going to bed, Cryptic? All right. Hunter, welcome back. What's up? Oh, okay, Z-Man. Z-Man, I was just saying after my live stream, when I end my live stream here soon, if we want to maybe test out the repo game with me, you, and Crystal, maybe play, make sure everything works, and then I said maybe play the repo game on a live stream later tonight, like Sunday night. It's technically Sunday now. It's 1:04 in the morning, so it's technically Sunday morning now, so. Oh, you're going to bed now, Crystal? Okay. Okay, Crystal. Sweet. Well, guys, like I said, I'm going to probably play the repo game. It looks like a really fun game where you have to like collect items that are valuable, and there's like monsters and different things. Yo, Nick, thank you for the super chat, Nick. 10 true horror stories animated. Horror Shorts Party? Let me look that up quick. I'm trying to remember if I watched that channel before. Horror. Yeah, unfortunately, Nick, I reached out to this channel in the past and they said they don't want people reacting or uploading their videos. I am subscribed to this channel, the Horror Shorts Party, but if you look right here, it says do not react dub to my videos without emailed permission. They'll give a copyright strike to my channel, unfortunately. So maybe I'll try to email this channel again, Horror Shorts Party. But I remember I used to watch and react to their videos, but for some reason they want to be stingy little assholes and have people not do reactions to their videos. I don't know why. No, it's okay, Nick. I was trying to remember if it was that channel, but I really like that channel, Horror Shorts Party, but they have it on their video at the beginning. They don't want people watch or reacting or uploading their videos. I don't know why. I feel like if someone does a reaction to one of your videos, uploads it, and then I put the original video in the description, it's just going to get more people and more viewers for your channel. So I don't really understand that, but good night, had fun. But guys, I think I'm going to get off here for tonight. We did two. The Mr. Nightmare video was like 30 minutes long. Nuke's Top 5 was 30 minutes. So like I said, the next live stream I think I'm going to do with Ryan and maybe Crystal, someone else later tonight, Sunday night. We're going to play a game called Repo. It looks like a lot of fun, but I hope you guys had fun hanging out. We did a Nuke's Top 5 and a Mr. Nightmare reaction. Nick, thank you so much for the one DKRACK gifted membership. Thank you for the gifted membership, Nick. But guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, early morning, wherever you're at. I plan on doing more live streams, so don't worry, guys. I'll do another live stream very soon. But you guys have a good night. Good night, Raphael, Clarissa, Z-Man. Ryan, if you want to do a call, message me. Maybe we can talk for a little bit on a call about the repo game and stuff. But all right, guys, have a great night. Thanks for watching.